Programs in agriculture, agricultural engineering, forestry and veterinary medicine, as well as information technology, have been recognized by the Commission on Higher Education for their excellence. Our graduates are among the best performers in professional licensure examinations. But how has UPLB really lived up to its commitment to excellence, relevance, academic freedom, and social responsibility, which are so essential to its achieving its primary mission of producing educational products and providing research and extension services that are attuned to the needs of the country, reassessing UPLB's commitment to excellence, academic freedom, and social responsibility. Despite the policy and institutional reform aimed at modernizing agriculture and protecting natural resources, the productivity of agriculture and the productive capability of our environmental resources continue to decline. This has aggravated the problems of low productivity of the entire economy, food security, poverty, and environmental degradation. The poor performance of agriculture and rural-based industry has been traced to the deteriorating quality of instruction, quality of education and research services in support of agriculture and rural development and resources management. The agriculture sector continues to suffer from low level of existing technology, inadequate support services and policy intervention, and the uncertain, slow phase of implementation of reform measures. It is therefore high time that we reassess the quality and the relevance of our academic programs and services that we design to enhance the technical competence and critical and reflective thinking of our students and development partners. We ask ourselves the question, how has UPLB lived up to its commitment to excellence, academic freedom, and social responsibility? What has UPLB done to generate useful technologies, espouse the values of moral integrity, critical mindedness, and social responsibility in molding the minds of the students and its delivery of research and extension services? Finally, we ask, how can UPLB best serve the people in the face of critical changes that pose serious challenges and constraint to its carrying out its mission? This lecture is an attempt by an insider, an old hand, and sometimes an active participant in the never-ending controversies at UPLB to provide some answers to these questions. UPLB's response to commitment to excellence, academic freedom, and social responsibility. On academic excellence. The measure of academic excellence should include available human and physical resources, the qualification and commitment to duty of its faculty, and the quality, quantity, and variety of programs and services, and the relevance of its program and services to its mission. In each of these measures, UPLB standing in my scorecard needs improvement. There are many interrelated factors behind these shortcomings. I will concentrate on those which are within the power of UPLB and the UP system to control. These include the following: the proliferation of academic units and the rapid expansion of academic programs and services which were not supported by careful planning, genuine need analysis, manpower development, and regular monitoring and review process. The lack of resolve to carry out organizational structuring and streamlining, and the reluctance to phase out programs, projects, and activities of very little useful output and relevance to primary mission. Unfavorable policies and mismatch between financial allocation and needs. Proliferation of academic units and expansion of programs and services. From 1972 to the late 1990s, a number of colleges, schools, centers, and institutes were created without adequate financial support. While UPLB was designated as an autonomous campus for agriculture, forestry, and related fields, its activities were expanded beyond its mandate. The increase in curricular offerings resulted in a dramatic rise in the student population. However, the enrollment in agriculture and related fields declined in favor of arts, sciences, engineering, and humanities, notwithstanding the fact that the strength of UPLB faculty and the bulk of its physical resources remain to be in agriculture and related fields. The increasing imbalance between primary mission and activities adversely affected the quality and relevance of present UPLB academic programs and services. The mismatch between actual allocation of funds, and the minimum amount needed has also seriously affected the quality of UPLB educational outputs and the relevance of its services. The perennial lack of funds for staff development, for example, has been the primary reason for the inability of UPLB to develop sufficient skills in emerging fields of science and technology and to maintain its distinctive excellence and relevance in agriculture and related disciplines. On the barriers to carrying out organizational and institutional changes, the period from 1972 to the late 1990s was also characterized by the proliferation of research and training programs and the lack of resolve to terminate the appointment of staff of programs that had outlived their usefulness. This contributed to the increasing imbalance in the administrative to academic staff ratio. For example, the academic to administrative staff ratio of over 4 is nearly double that for UP Diliman. As a result, over 80% of the total expenditure goes into personnel services. Due to inadequate management review and program monitoring and evaluation, it has been difficult to develop a sound manpower planning system, to identify growth points, to guide manpower development, and to carry out much needed organizational reforms. Hence, programs, projects, and activities with very little useful outputs and of questionable relevance to our primary mission continue to compete for limited funds and staff time on maintaining human and physical resources. Budgetary constraints led to shifting priorities in the allocation of funds. Savings and other funds that could have been used to upgrade faculty, to upgrade facilities, and support faculty development have been used for staff bonuses and allowances. The termination of most of the faculty development scholarship programs starting in the late 1970s adversely affected the quality and variety of postgraduate training opportunities available to UPLB faculty at a crucial time of expanding curricular programs and increasing needs for new skills. Hence, it has become increasingly difficult for UPLB to retain its promising young faculty. The pressure to rationalize the allocation of funds, to factor in the necessity to maintain human resources is inevitable. Having taught engineering courses for the past 40 years, I can attest to the gradual deterioration in the proficiency in language, mathematics, physics, and basic engineering concepts of our students. Most disturbing is their lack of exposure and familiarity with actual project planning and formulation of important design parameters. Their training has focused more and more on solving the problems in their textbook, using design parameters and methodologies that usually are not appropriate to Philippine conditions. On policy concerns, to arrest the decline in the quality of UP education, and partly in response to the low ratings that the university received in some of the criteria used in ranking of universities in Asia in terms of academic excellence, the UP system adopted the up or out and tenure policy. In adopting these policies, the university seemed to have assumed that the faculty credentials for achieving academic excellence can be measured in terms of advanced academic degrees attained and publication in a refereed journal. Many students, alumni, and academic staff of UPLB could attest to the fact that such credentials do not necessarily guarantee teaching proficiency. The best measure of the utility of a research output is its adoption by its intended end users. An inventory of the completed agricultural research in the country by Filipino scientists during the period from 1986 to 1996 showed that less than 1% of the generated outputs were actually used by the intended end users. This finding is significant considering that the bulk of the agricultural research in the country is conducted by UPLB. Partly because of the two policies, some units are experiencing very fast turnover rates of their faculty and have very few faculty members in the 25 to 35 years age bracket. My own college, for example, has difficulty recruiting promising graduates and keeping its more experienced faculty. The young engineering graduates find the challenge of getting an advanced degree and publishing an article in a refereed journal within 8 years of service a daunting and a risky proposition. Because of the tenure policy, our college had to fire teachers with master's and doctoral degrees, leaving the bulk of the teaching duties to new graduates who are struggling to get their advanced degrees. As a result, most of our units have no replacement for their aging faculty. The two policies tend to favor development, faculty development in units that are relatively strong. Such units offer graduate program and have senior faculty who can provide guidance and funds for the research of the junior faculty. Without such guidance and funds, it will be difficult for new units to attain a critical mass of competent faculty. Applying these policies to all teaching units, regardless of the stage of development and core duties, is not only unfair, but is counterproductive. An extreme example in mind is the UPLB Rural High School. A good teacher with an advanced degree and a sole or lead authorship in a paper in a refereed journal is a rarity and will most likely pursue a teaching or research career elsewhere. During the past 25 years, there has been a gradual policy shift favoring centralization and the erosion of powers and influence over university matters of the autonomous UPLB campus. Some faculty members are somewhat disturbed by what they perceive as the lack of built-in safeguards at the highest level against political overtures and pressures to compromise integrity and bend rules in the academy and in governance. System administrative bodies and officials with staff appointments